because I'm crazy, I say we got a heavy rain day, hard rains. What should we do today? I know, get in the Jeep and drive out to the desert. Point your finger at a spring on a map and start hiking. So that's what I did. I like to look at the desert in the rain because it gives me a better idea of what the landscape would have looked like in prehistoric times when the climate was wetter. You can see how the water flows over the land. You can see where the water sources were and how they worked on the land. And usually at really old perennial water sources, you'll find signs of Native American life and how they lived there. And they usually mark their presence with petroglyphs on the rocks. So in this case, I'm walking down the wash. I start seeing plants that look like they like water. These plants like water better than some of these scrubbier ones. And I think, okay, good, we must be getting near the spring. And so I start looking around me and right on cue, petroglyphs make their appearance. So I'm gonna walk around this area here, this spring, and see what the people here in the Mojave Desert were up to at this spring. Right up against this boulder tumble, the next thing I see is a grinding slip. We're tucked behind some more boulders. We have a mortar hole. I just touched that with my hand, so I made it nice and muddy, but it's smooth inside. There it is. Holy moly! Look at that! Oh, can you see it? Tumbling over the, oh my gosh, tumbling over the rocks. That's the spring. Kind of casting my eyes about, looking for petroglyphs. But mostly, the main attraction here is this. You never get to see this when it's not raining. Hello, water source. Oh, so beautiful. And another one over here. Oh God, this is so worth it. This is why you go to the desert in the rain. Oh, heaven. That is so pretty. I mean, did you ever? Oh. I mean, who needs petroglyphs? You've got nature making this incredible twin waterfall, one with a dark stream, one with a white stream, around this amazing monolith. Why gild the lily, I say. Just listen to the sound of this inside this grotto. Just noticed something extra cool. See up in this crack here, up on that high ledge, a big bird nest. Right here by this waterfall, we have some pictographs. Yeah, like look at this though. What's interesting about these is how durable they are. The water's running right over them. And they stay. That's a good recipe right there. That's a good paint recipe because, you know, those weren't made yesterday, and rain's been falling over those for presumably hundreds of years at this point. So, yeah, I guess that's a little food for thought when considering how old pictographs can be. Because this is in no kind of protective environment at all. This is full on exposed to sun and water. And there they are. You know what's especially interesting to me about this setting is that it's a dead-end canyon to start with, and it's all wash, high boulder scrambles on either side all the way down the canyon. I mean, it's not that far until you can get to some place where it's habitable, but this water source here is not a village site by any description. It's purely a spring, and water source or sacred site, I don't know. Oh wow, look at this. But it feels cathedral-like, you know. The vibe of it doesn't feel villagey at all. Those special kind of waterfalls, especially the duality one with the light and the dark stripes on either side of the monolith, that feels really special. That feels really sacred. It's kind of it's a beautiful atmosphere to just bathe in. I had to bail out. Oh my god, the rain started coming down so hard. There's a weather advisory out here today that there could be gusts of wind up to 70 miles an hour, and the wind was picking up. It was blowing my umbrella in half. It was totally useless. The wash was filling up, so there was nowhere to walk but in the water. Hello, red flag. My waterproof boots were totally soaked through, both layers of rain jacket completely soaked through. So I'm back in the safety of Blanca, the safari Ferrari. My mama didn't raise no fool. Well, she might have raised a fool, but she didn't raise a girl who wants to be soaking wet for absolutely no reason. So I'm going to stay out here tonight. I'm going to find myself a good place to stay. I'm also going to find myself a nice little shelter cave where I can hole up and work on my art and read a book or something and get the wonderful, yummy benefits of all these negative ions of the water hitting the rocks. Without being exposed to flash flood. I did see some more petroglyphs as I was hiking out, but both my cameras had run out of battery, so the cold does that sometimes, so I couldn't take quick snaps of them. But I'm going to come back here tomorrow when it should not be raining and see if I can get a photo of some of those and maybe scramble around a little bit and see if there's some more. So stay tuned. And I'm going to get something hot to drink. Good morning. I'm back. I'm alive. I braved the storm, and now it's a beautiful blue sky sunny day. And I came back out to the wash to see what we can see, and the first thing I see is one of those very controversial, because some people say they don't exist, yoni petroglyphs. Let's see. At the end of this video, I will add links in the description to other videos that show the yoni petroglyphs when they're in a really clean state. They're not heavily eroded or chipped away, and so you can see how they are petroglyphs. This one is pretty well chipped away, but it's an auspicious start to the day's adventure, going back out to the waterfalls and looking for some more petroglyphs. See, look how weird this boulder is on the landscape. We've got all these light monzonite granite, not heavily patinated. This one, however, has a lot of iron in it. See all the oxidation? It makes it browner, darker, everything about it. So it's unique. And because it's unique, it has been chosen for the petroglyphs. Now, I'm kind of amazed, actually, because I'm pretty far north in the Mojave Desert. I've only seen these before in the southern desert, closer to the Mexico border, the Kumeyaay zone. But I mean, it's not that far away. The Salton Sea is close, to here, and that's kind of a landmark that unites people. It's not out of the question that people who were down south by the Mexico-California border could have traveled up here and brought their ideas with them. So this is really interesting. It adds to the story of, you know, how people moved around these deserts here, and they influence culture with their stories and their customs. These are the kind of things that I like, these little mysteries that I don't understand, but intrigue me. There's that petroglyph there, and then you walk around to the back of these boulders. All boulders, 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 boulders. They're all rough. They're all this kind of crystalline granite that's kind of rough and sticky. But then you've got this one grinding slick back here, like behind, at an angle. It's not, you know, it's not flat. If you're grinding food, it's falling off the end. So, you know, what's being done here? Are you smoothing leather here? Like, what are you doing here? This is a really wide surface. Look at it compared to my hand, right? It's a really wide surface and rubbed really smooth. I like to think about, and if somebody knows the answer to, please tell me, you know, what was being rubbed on a rock like that? I'm looking at this really wonderful panel, and you know what I think? I wonder if these might actually be gunshot damage. I don't know. I mean, there definitely something hit that and broke the rock, but I don't know if it's a petroglyph or if it's vandalism. People used to come out here in the early 1900s, 1800s, and shoot up Native American petroglyph panels. So go pull out your topographic map and look for a spring, and look at the symbol that represents spring on the map. It's a circle with a little squiggly tail coming off of it. And I see these all the time, these kind of petroglyphs at spring sites, especially around here. Kind of interesting how that's a universal symbol. Again, really deep cupules grounded to the rock, but here they're really high. They're at an odd height to be cupules. Deep, hard, that chipped off on the outside. I really think these just might be gunshots, scars. Because by comparison, look at what's on the other side. Okay, I showed you this before. This huge, beautiful, square-like rock with these gorgeous quartz lines running through it, and then this perfect, amazing cupule ground into the center of it, right into its belly, you know, right into the middle of it. So smooth, and it rounds off nicely into the rock, whereas, you know, these are just pow. They're not elegant. This little side discussion actually made me look at this a lot more closely. This is more interesting than I even thought it was. Okay, think circles and lines and the symbolism that has in creation. And, you know, this is square, circle, lines, circle. And this is not a circle. When I was up here touching it just now, I realized it's not a circle. It's a circle and a line. This is so common. I can think of a whole pictograph cave not far from here that's filled with hundreds of circles crossed with the line. considered by many to be a fertility symbol. Also, germination of a seed is a circle with the line. But that's the same thing. It's fertility. It's this idea of fertility of the vagina. All the things that are fertility have the circle and the line. Lots and lots and lots of writing done about that topic, so you can go and look that up. But this is a pretty interesting manifestation of it, because this is oddly square rock lines, and then the circle is placed right in the middle of it. You know who loves water sources in the desert? All the animals. Look at that. I heard the coyotes howling out here yesterday. When I was here, as I was leaving, I could hear them back in here. I mean, I'm sure they had these footprints had to be made after the rain stopped, or they wouldn't be so perfect. Probably this morning. Look at all around up in there, drinking, having a good time, because this was one of those waterfalls I showed you yesterday. Other one is over there. Look at all this mess of little dog footprints everywhere. Isn't that beautiful? On this panel, I think it's interesting that this person is on one side of a crack. He's on the side of the crack, separated from all the rest of this that's going on. And this is one long continuous line connecting to this character. Why is the man over here separated from by the crack? So have you ever heard the fable about how to enhance your character? And it's the story of the two wolves. You've got the dark wolf and you've got the light wolf. And whichever wolf you choose to feed is the wolf that will thrive. Let's see, are there any wolves that fed from the dark side? A little exploratory action on the dark side. But they drank from the light side. Thank you so much for watching. I support this channel with the sale of my handmade art, made in the style of the Huichol bead art, with tiny glass beads pressed into beeswax. Sorry, you hear my son in the background. Anyway, there's a lot of fun stuff on the channel there for Valentine's Day, and one item in particular that I made while camping on this trip. It's a little jewelry tray, so maybe you'll see something there you'd like to buy for somebody you love. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.